All right, the Biden administration continues to bring the full force of the federal government to target pro-life Christians. Just yesterday, a judge convicted 4 pro-life Christians of violating the FACE Act. That's the federal law that was passed during the Clinton administration. But these individuals were simply peacefully praying and singing hymns at a Tennessee abortion facility back in 2021. Now, despite the Biden administration's Justice Department failing to demonstrate that these individuals did anything to block access or to inhibit the activities of the staff, those who have now been convicted face up to a year in prison and thousands of dollars in fines. It's just mind-boggling. This is the type of thing you would expect in other countries, but now it's happening right here in the United States. We've seen the Biden administration ramp up this type of targeting of pro-life Christians ever since the Dobbs decision in 22. But is this just yet another example? Well, joining me now to discuss it all is Congressman Ralph Norman. He serves on the Rules Committee, the Budget Committee, Financial Services. He's from the great state of South Carolina, representing the 5th Congressional District there. Congressman Norman, always great to see you. Welcome back to Washington Watch.
Jody, so nice to be with you, and it was good seeing you the other week, and I'm glad your book is out. I plan to get it.
Well, thank you. Get it and give it to a lot of friends as well. All right, listen, let's talk about this pro-life stuff. This is just it's ramping up to, I mean, it's worrisome. It's bothersome. These actions from the Biden administration's Justice Department, I mean, it does, on the one hand, demonstrate the importance of elections. But also, I mean, why Christians need to be remained in the political process. Your initial thoughts as to what happened yesterday?
You know, I saw the 4 were convicted, Jody, that only the federal government can bring this type of an action. The only one that can overrule the DOJ is the Attorney General, and good luck with that. We know where Merrick Garland's going. No, this is a weaponization of our federal government. It's aimed at Christians. Ever since this administration took office 3.5 years ago, they've gone after Christians. They've gone after pro-life centers. It ended amazing that you can have cities torn up, buildings burned, looting, people hurt. You don't hear about that. You don't hear about the consequences. Yet if you sing and are just peacefully being at centers like they were, and then charge them under the FACE Act, which is ludicrous. And this happens in third world countries that are dominated by rulers, dominated by those that run Venezuela, Cuba. And no, it's startling, and it just shows you how we've got to have a change in administration, and it couldn't come too quick.
Absolutely. You know, we've seen that the Democrats are all in on this issue of abortion, and they are making it a campaign issue unquestionably. We dealt with this a little bit yesterday, but yesterday the House Democrats held a field hearing on this topic of abortion. In fact, here's what House Democratic leader Hakeem Jeffries said during that hearing. I'd like to play it and get your response to this.
We are here today to all make clear our unwavering, unyielding, and unequivocal support for reproductive freedom, because reproductive freedom is under assault.
All right, how should pro-lifers, be it elected officials or just citizens, how should we respond to this push that's coming from the left?
Well, one, you've got to, we understand that this is just an attempt to shield the American people or not remind them of the disaster that's going on in America, from the invasion at the border to crime in the streets to what's happening in Israel. This is just an attempt to retain power, and they're using the abortion as a launching pad to try to keep them in power. I don't think it's going to work. Retain the rights of reproductive rights of women. When you really parse that down, it's okay in the killing of a child. Even at some of the hearings I went to, at a perfectly healthy baby at birth, and they drag in these different witnesses that have horror stories of a doctor not being able to take a child that doesn't have the fluid around him. That just doesn't happen from what we're told with obstetricians that, sense the life and death potentially of a mother. But it's just their attempt to retain power, and they're using the abortion issue as one to go on.
Yeah, and we have to face the issue straight up. I mean, we have to stand for life. And what you said, they can call it reproductive health or whatever they want to call it. But at the end of the day, their position is killing babies, and we stand for life. If I can, Congressman, switch gears on you a little bit in the little time we have remaining. Congress is currently in recess, but there's going to be a lot of budget battles that are now behind us, obviously. But as you come back, there's the budget battles preparing for next year, among a host of other things. What do you anticipate taking place when Congress comes back next week?
Speaker Jordan's going to have to decide, Jody, if he's going to rely on Democrats under House suspending the rules in the House to pass his agenda. As you notice on the 12 appropriation bills, only I think 109 voted for it, 112 voted against it. He did not have a majority of Republicans. Mike's going to have to decide if what hill he wants to die on, which I thought was sealing the border. But he's going to have to get the Republicans together, and I hope he will do that. He is a good man. He's a Christian man. I've been disappointed in what's taken place so far. I'm not for motion to vacate now, but hopefully he will take a tough stance and really get this country back on a firm financial footing, which doesn't mean spending money without offsets.
Well, and some of the leverage points have to include things like the border. As you mentioned, do you think there's a will on your side of the aisle to stand for the border real quickly?
He's going to have to be tough on it. But Mike gave up his leverage when he said, we cannot shut the government down. Well, I'm sorry. I think hopefully if he had worked it, we would come to a consensus. We can't sustain the invasion for another 8 months until a new office hopefully comes in. And he said that was the hill to die on, but it didn't happen in that case. So we're back to zero.
Well, it's got to happen soon. Thank you so much, Congressman Ralph Norman. Always great to see you.